it's funny because that's one of the main lessons I learned the last time we did an open house where I bought the air freshener.
Yeah.
I was like, Gabrielle,
no. She brought Febreze to my open house. I said, stop right now.
It was a sin. I was like, wait, maybe I got the wrong scent. Gabby doesn't like this scent.
And I'm like, we can't have hairspray.
I started off all wrong. Haven't been invited back to an open house since.
Oh my God.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Loans and Laughs, where we make real estate less mysterious and hopefully inject it with a whole lot of fun and laughter, hopefully. So I'm your host, Sabrina Charlo. I'm your purposeful loan officer, where I have one specific purpose today, which is to hopefully help you navigate the real estate journey with laughter and fun. So today, we've got a superstar in the building, y'all.
Thank you.
She is a superstar in the real estate industry, and I'm just so excited that you're here. So from the powerhouse team at Sirhan, this realtor is known for turning dreams into addresses.
Aww.
So she specializes in luxury properties, resales, and rental units or rentals throughout Long Island and Queens. So get ready for some amazing insights and a whole lot of fun. Yes. So please, everyone, welcome the incredible Gabrielle Gilbert, a.k.a. Gabby.
Yes, thank you so much. It's an absolute honor to be here. I'm very excited.
I am so happy. I am so happy you're here. I already love the energy, like when you walk through.
Energy all day.
Has to be. Has
Absolutely.
to be right. Well, thank you so much again for taking the time to be here.
Of course.
Oh, it was our show.
Our show. I love it. I've always wanted to have some sort of show.
Really? Well, listen, it starts today.
Right?
This is it, right?
Good.
So I guess to kind of kick things off, I want to talk about your journey in real estate and what inspired you to get into real estate. And, you know, this segment I'd like to call, or I am calling, Meet Your Next Realtor.
Ooh, I like it.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, I got into real estate. I've been in it for about 5 years now. And prior to that, I did architecture and interior design. So I did that for about 12 years, did both high-end residential. That was the majority, the meat of my career then. And I also did hospitality design, where I got to design some hotels, which that was so much fun.
Fancy.
Okay, like they're both fun. But the hotels are fun because when they're done, you can go stay there and you get to live in your experience versus someone's house, you know, because once you're done, you don't get to live there anymore.
You don't get to go back to visit.
Yes, no. Just popping up like, I just want to see my design. No, you can't do that. So the hotels are fun because of that. You get to just experience it over and over again. So yes, Delray, Florida. There's a hotel there called the Ray, and so that was a design that I got to work on with my team at that time, and it was so exciting.
How long ago was that?
That was maybe, I'd probably say like 7 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun, and I did that for 12 years. After that, I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom for a while, and that was really my turning point because I loved architecture, loved interior design, still do. Nice. But at the time, I would be in the office till like 3 a.m. doing drawings and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, this is just too much. And I had a newborn baby.
Oh, yeah.
My mom had just passed away. I had a bunch of stuff going on. Thank you. But I had so much going on, and I was like, no, I want to be present because I think that's one of the key things. I was like, I wanted more time with my mom, and so I don't want to have my daughter like miss out on time with me.
Absolutely.
And so I was like, I want to be there for her. I want to be around. I want to, if she's sick, I want to be able to go take her to the doctor. If I need to go to the doctor, I want to be able to do that. Whatever I need to do, I want to be able to do.
Absolutely.
And at the time, I had a boss who was a little bit selfish in that way, like at the latter place. Yeah.
We can call it that.
And she would say to me like, well, can't your husband go do it?
Wow.
And can't your husband go get your kid? Yeah. So, and I was like, and I would see her traveling, doing what she has to do, go to this doctor's appointment, come in whatever time she'd like. And
Did
I was
she
like,
have kids herself?
No.
Maybe that's where it was. That's what it was. She didn't
high
quite understand.
insensitivity. Exactly. So I was just like, you see, I like that she can do what she wants because she's the boss. So I need to be the boss.
There we go.
Right? So I was like, I definitely need a career where I am able to make a lot of money and do really well and still do what I love to do, which is architecture and design. But I get to dictate my schedule. I get to be there for my daughter when I want to, work when I want to. And so I was like, maybe I should get into real estate. And that was a thought that I had, but I was still working there. And then it really was God, because God had me fall and rip my the tendons in my legs.
So are you laughing about it?
It's like really weird, because I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stay for like another 2-3 months. Like that was my plan. Like, okay, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur one day, but I'll stay for a little while. God was like, nope. I have different plans. We're ripping them hamstrings, and you're going to be home for a bit, and then when you heal, you're out. So that's what happened. Like I put in my 2 weeks. They asked for a month, but I tore my hamstring at 2 weeks. And that's how I knew. It was just, it's God
Divine.
being like, nope, you're not getting an extra time from her. This is it.
Wow.
And I was home, recovered from that, and then I was like, okay, what can I do? And I started to get my stuff for my real estate career. I started doing the courses and all that stuff, and passed and was ready to go. And so I started off at City Habitats. That's where I began. It no longer exists because it got bought out by Corcoran.
Yeah, I worked there for a very short time.
Oh, yeah? My gosh, that's so crazy. Yes, I loved it. They did a lot of rentals. That was like the starting point of pretty much the premise of what they did. There were people there who did sales, but it was like a minimal thing. So I was like, it's okay. I want to learn all aspects of real estate. So City Habitats is it. But I was like, my goal is to be at Corcoran one day, because I had heard so much about it. And I was just like, oh yeah, that's going to be my goal. So
and I'm sure you've seen Barbara on TV.
Yes,
with Shark
all
Tank.
of it. I was like, yay. Well, no, I don't know if the Shark Tank was happening then.
Oh, during that time. You're right.
Yeah, but it was more so like I just would see their signs everywhere. And I was just like, okay. And I watched $1 Million Listing, and, Steve Gold was at Corcoran and all of that. So I was just like, okay, I don't mind starting there, and I see their name everywhere. I want to be at a big name and all that stuff. That was kind of what I thought of. And I was like, all right. But anyway, I'll start at City Habitats. I'll grow. I don't have a problem with that. And then City Habitats got bought out by Corcoran, and I was like,
Look at that. Exactly. Talk about divine intervention yet again.
Exactly. So I was like so excited. I got incredible training, like foundationally at City Habitats, and I learned a lot while I was at Corcoran too. I was there for about 2 years. So, no, 3 years total. So yeah, once that time, like after a while, you start to feel like, okay, I've learned a lot. I want to grow. I want to expand.
Yes.
And then I started to pursue Serhant. I wanted to get into that real estate firm because I really was loving social media. And so that was
it loves you back, by the way.
So thank you. So that's what kind of led me into real estate, period, but then also to Serhant. COVID happened, threw things off.
Yes.
So that happened while I was at Corcoran. And I spent that time building up social media. So it all just kind of led into each other, because as I was focusing on social media while at Corcoran, then the Serhant opportunity presented itself. And I'm like, yes.
Nice.
Like I was already spending so much time on social media. So
you're the example of what it means to speak it into existence.
Yes.
Because it seems like everything you targeted just fell into your lap, which is amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I was super grateful.
I love it. That was amazing. And you've been at Serhant for how long now, did you say?
2 years.
2 years.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Isn't counting.
So what would you say is the one thing about being a realtor that surprises you the most?
I would probably say that surprises me. That's an interesting one. What would surprise me? I mean, I would say there are so many different aspects of real estate that you can do. And so when you think you know something, there's like a whole nother field that you're like, wait a minute, I have not even caught up on this. So while I'm studying rentals and then I'm studying resales, then it's like, wait, do you know how to do new construction? Oh, gosh.
Something else.
Yes. Then it's like, wait a minute. What about new dev? You need to like look into new dev. Okay, that's something else. Oh, but do you know anything about foreclosures and short sales? Oh gosh, something else. So it's like all these different aspects of real estate is like it's a lot. So it's not like, okay, learn how to do a sale and represent the buyer and then learn how to do a sale and represent the seller. It's not that black and white. There's just so many different parts. So I say that would be the most surprising part.
Yes. What would you say are some of the qualities that make a realtor successful? To be able to juggle all those different things that you mentioned, to understand how to, go with the evolution of real estate and constantly adapting to what comes.
Oh, yeah. It definitely takes some resilience. It takes some thick skin because today I got cursed out.
No way. Are you
even
serious?
that, like even on that, I was cold calling. So like, which is something I just started because I've been trying to expand all of the ways that I get business.
Yes.
So I said, all right, I'm going to try something new that I never tried before. And I was like, I'm going to try cold calling. And so people told me like, okay, Gabby, you're going to need to develop thick skin for this. I'm like, oh gosh, okay. Today, this man was not having it. And I tried to be so nice because I'm like, they tell you smile while you're on the phone, even though they don't see you. They'll hear it.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like smiling, like, hello, it's Gabby. Da, da, da. He was just like, F you, F this, F the world. I was like, oh my gosh. He's like, how did you get my number? Why are you calling me? Well, the reason, F the reason. I was like, oh, wow. So some things, it's like you have to have thick skin and not take it personally and be like, okay, next call. All right, like, and be able to move on. So yeah, you can't cry long. Ryan Serhant always says you get like a couple minutes, give yourself like, okay, you got 15 minutes to feel your feelings, be in your feelings about this, and then get back to it.
There you go.
So yes, thick skin, being able to move on, and just keep it going. Like I recommend high organization skills and definitely being resilient and being outgoing even because like unless you have a sphere that is just they're all millionaires and billionaires. Okay, maybe you don't have to go to all the networking events and, do all the things. But really, if you have those qualities where you're outgoing and you're open and you're connecting with people and building these relationships, that's key.
Oh, that's amazing. So how do you stay motivated, though, during those challenging times? Challenging times within the market, challenging times when you do meet people like that. I mean, how do you keep it together?
Number one, it's definitely God. It's definitely my faith. Like, my faith keeps me very grounded.
Okay.
And that's carried me through my life and also through my real estate career as different things I see how things have lined up that I didn't orchestrate, right? So my faith has been number one. But my family, they're motivators. My husband's very supportive. My daughter, she's like, oh, my mom. Anytime I'm introducing anyone or meeting someone for the first time or at her school, she's like, oh, this is my mom. She's Gabby the realtor. And I'm like, oh, great. Like,
go about keep free doing marketing.
That. Exactly. Right? And so,
she may have a future in sales as well.
Right? I know. I love it. So I'm just like, okay, she is also part of my motivation. I want to be able to kill it in real estate for her. I want to be able to provide her a life that I didn't have and opportunities that I didn't get. So that's definitely a big motivation. But I would also say, like, on top of faith, family, and friends who are very supportive, I feel like people in the industry, too, have been really big motivators. I'm a big three-tier type of friendship person because I feel like you have to have three types of friends around you. You need to have people who are younger in the business and whatever you're in, whether it doesn't even have to be real estate, whatever it is that you're in, you have people that are younger in the business around you because you want somebody you can pour into that you know more than, and they respect that, and you're able to pour and give and mentor and, educate, and they motivate you because they're keeping you accountable because, you have to have something to share. Then you want those people who are on your level where you're both clawing for the top. Like you're that's the goal. You're trying to push and you're motivating each other. You have a little accountability group. What'd you do today?
Yes.
What are you about to do? And you're really pushing each other, and that's very important.
Yes.
And then you want those people who are doing what you want to be doing.
There you go.
They're above you. They know more. They're smarter. They have been in this. They have the experience, all of that, because you're learning from them. And you're the people that they're pouring into. And everybody should have those 3 tiers of friendships to really be able to push you to the next level. And I think that's another huge part of my motivation as well.
That's beautiful. Now you see why she's here today, guys. Do you see why she's here?
Thank you.
I love it. I love that you have that mindset, though, because, sometimes people think about just the me factor. What do I have to do to get ahead?
Yeah.
But they forget to pour into and to be able to, just collaborate and be able to learn as they're going. So it's amazing that you do have that mindset. And I hope a lot of people, can adapt that and understand how important that is, most importantly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It is.
Absolutely. I love that. So what would you say are some of the biggest changes that you've seen since you've been in the business?
I would say AI.
We were just talking about that.
AI. So yeah, I haven't been, I'm not like a veteran where people have been in real estate for 20, 30 years and all of that.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. So while I've been here, even though I've only been for 5 years, I feel like the biggest change I've noticed has been AI and how we've adapted to that. There are some firms that haven't adapted as much as or as well as others. But yeah, being able to just capitalize on that and make your life easier and work smarter, not harder, I think is so important. Everybody's heard about ChatGPT, and I think that has been a game changer.
Oh, yeah.
Not everybody uses it to its fullest capabilities.
There are a lot of features and functions.
Goodness. Yes. It's almost scary.
It is.
But it also can be but that's every tool, right? Every tool can be used for horrible things and also used for greatness. Yes. And so I feel like if we're using, and I've seen it be used in the real estate world for just amazing things to lighten up people's loads and make it so that they have more time for making and building and growing their business.
Oh, yeah.
So I would definitely say AI has been a game changer.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So much to be explored there.
Yeah.
So much to be explored. I mean, I'm excited to be able to implement it in different ways in my business. I know it's so much to learn. It's funny because I was on IG and I keep seeing the same ad pop up where this gentleman is talking about like the 60 different AI tools that you should learn in order to get ahead of the curve. Yeah. And I'm like, let me just focus on one.
I know. There's so much stuff. I've been going to like conferences too, and they're like, here's a book on what you should ask ChatGPT. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, we don't even know what to ask it. There's so much stuff it can do. And it's a lot. Yes. It's a lot. We haven't really even tapped the surface. So it's intense, but I think it's like also kind of exciting.
It is. And I just keep thinking, where the hell did it come from? I mean, it literally was just dropped into our laps right after COVID.
Yeah. Everyone was online like, okay, how do we make this so much easier for us?
Yeah. It was interesting. Yeah. It was interesting. It's definitely a lot to be explored there.
Yes, for sure.
So, darling, I have to ask you this next question.
Okay.
What do you think sets you apart from other realtors? Because, I want people to know you. I mean, they know you already, but I mean, she is the person to work with. She is amazing in every way.
Thank you.
I can go on, but what do you think sets you apart for sure?
Oh, there are quite a lot of things. Okay, so definitely my energy. Okay, I feel like...
She does not drink coffee, guys.
No, I don't. I have the energy. I'm a go-getter. I know what I'm talking about in terms of knowledge base. Okay, there's so many different aspects. So there are some things that I have to develop skill in, like those foreclosures and short sales, right? But in terms of other avenues in real estate, I definitely am knowledgeable in especially in Queens and Long Island. So, you know, I feel like the knowledge base is key. You want somebody that is an expert, that knows what they're doing and is comfortable and confident in that. I also feel like I'm a praying realtor. I am very much faith-based, you know, and that's not for everyone, and that's okay. I'm not for everyone, right? But I feel like that has been a huge role and a huge it has made a huge difference in my career, because I've literally seen deals just because of my personality, energy, my faith that I have. Like, my clients are not going to get a house that is not for them, because I pray against that, right? I pray against anything that is not for them coming their way. I've had clients where we've found a house in one weekend and it's gone through super smooth, super quickly. I've had clients that we've been searching for 2 years because everything we try to get into, it's blocked. And I'm always okay with that. I have incredible amount of patience because of that, because I want what's for them. I'm not money hungry and just like, oh, I just care about my check and da-da-da. It's not even about that for me. Of course, I want to be able to close a deal and be able to make money for my family, but that is not number one.
Motivation.
Yes, exactly. So for me, it's really focusing on my client and making sure that they're getting what's best for them, that I'm really working in their best interest versus anything else. And I want what's best for them. Yes, I'm a go-getter. I don't really take no for an answer, but I'm also not a shark in terms of being mean and aggressive and by any means necessary. I will shred anyone to pieces. No, I've seen my personality be able to win over deals for my clients. I've seen agents who rather work with me versus another agent and choose my client's offer even though it's not the highest. And so there are many opportunities, experiences that I've had just in me being who I am, being very beneficial for my clients. So I would say that that's definitely a big plus. And then I have a background in architecture and real estate. I am used to looking at undone homes and seeing what it can be, all of its potential.
Oh, we're going to get into that later for sure. We're going to get into that. Don't jump to the next segment now.
Okay, good. So yes, I'm able to help on many levels. So it's like not just the typical things that any other agent can do. But,
I love it. I do love it. Now, how do you go about building and maintaining those relationships with clients? Like, not just during the time when you're searching and you're looking for property, but what does that look like for you after they've closed, and how do you go about that?
Okay, so, well, usually before they close, a lot of my clients check me out on social media. And some of them feel like they already know me just from that, because I do try to be very transparent on there. So yeah, just having that initial, they come on in a consultation with me already feeling like they know who I am, which is good. So that's already a little bit of a head start. But then I handhold, I walk through the processes with my clients, and then when it's all closed, we're still connected. We're still social media friends. I still want to do check-ins. I still care about your cat and your dog. You know, like I still want to send you a gift because you had a baby. I still, you know, like I still feel like nourishing those connections are really important. And honestly, I want to do even better at that, because there are people who are having parties and all these things with their old clients, and I haven't done that, and I need to scale it. But yeah, I still want to keep in touch. Like, we're still friends.
I love it.
So yeah, that's important to me after closing, that we still stay connected. And I do have a lot of clients who have referred many people to me, and we stay in touch that way too. So it's been very helpful. Yeah.
That's amazing. I love when you can just take the time to really learn the person.
Yeah.
Connect with the person. Like, it's about connection. Like you said, it's not just supposed to be transactional. It's supposed to be like, how am I contributing to your life? And, you know, if I can still be a part of it, that, you know, that's even better.
Absolutely.
Yeah? So now, when you're not doing all this amazingness, what do you do in your downtime? I mean, I know you spoke about your family.
Yes.
What else do you do that's Gabby-centered and all of that?
Okay. I'm not a big shopper, which is probably surprising because a lot of people think I'm very high maintenance and bougie. I don't think people would think that. Really? They do, but I can be at certain things. But it's because I do like girly stuff. Like
Okay.
I love going to spas and getting massages. I love getting nails done, hair. I mean, I do my own hair, but
Nice.
you know, like just all the little prissy, you know, girly things.
Okay.
I enjoy those types of things. I like relaxing. I like watching a movie. I like, you know, singing. I'm like big on music, so
Give
you'll
us a
probably.
give us a
Oh
sample.
my gosh! No, I'm all
Give us a
nervous.
sample. Give it to us
I
again.
know, right?
Okay.
No, but
That was a C note.
I do. I like singing. Like I'll be playing music and like blasting. I love karaoke.
I was waiting for you to say that because that is my love language.
Yes, we have to go.
We do.
We have
We
to
do.
go.
Let's
we have
make
to
it
go
happen.
and sing karaoke.
We have to do it.
Yes, there are a group, and that's the whole thing. Like real estate is a whole nother world. There's a group of real estate agents that goes karaokeing
Get
every
out of
month.
here.
Yeah.
At your particular company or just
No.
like various companies?
Various.
Oh, that is amazing.
It's so cool. So I love that. So I try to go as much as I can.
Nice.
Love karaoke.
Keep me posted. I'll
Yes,
be there.
I will. And I just like nature. I don't like being outside in it. I like looking at it. So if I like to travel in that sense, like I like traveling. I enjoy that. So yeah, you're probably not. I will go glamping.
Okay. Oh, yes, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
not
really
camping.
Cool.
Hate bugs.
If I was to say, I don't care for the
Be out there.
mosquitoes, the
Yeah,
bugs, the
no,
creepy crawlies.
no.
Like, no, I'm good with that.
Yeah, but I'm willing to do whatever. And one of my favorite things I would probably say is eating. Like, I am a self-proclaimed foodie.
Of course.
So I love going and trying new restaurants.
Sweet.
And and just and content for sure.
Okay.
All things content. Everything I do is going to be
Content-based.
documented because it's for content. Yes.
But what's your
But,
favorite cuisine, would you say?
Italian.
Is it really?
I really think I'm Italian at heart. I mean, like, yes, bring the cannoli.
It's in your DNA somewhere.
It is. I just love Italian food. It's so difficult. Well, I'm a carb eater, so love pastas, love potato. I am. Yeah. I actually hate all bugs, but bees I'll deal with because they bring me potatoes. They are the reasons we have potatoes.
So
and
you're
once I learned that, I was
utilizing
like, okay, the bees are cool. They're cool.
You're utilizing them for their intent and purpose.
Yes.
Interesting. Interesting.
So yeah, I'm foodie all day. I will go restaurant hopping and prep myself for that.
There you go.
That is a big thing.
There you go. Do you cook, by the way?
I do, but it's not that often. I would probably go out more than I cook.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes
for
sense.
sure.
Well, you're busy, and I think, got to squeeze it in when we can.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a big fast food eater too.
Really?
But yeah.
Okay, we're not going to explore that right now.
no,
We're not
let's
going
not talk
to
about
tell people about that. No, I'm going to keep that to ourselves. So thank you for sharing your story, Gabby. It's always inspiring to hear about the passion and dedication that drives top realtors like you. So thank you, of course, for that.
Thank you.
So now we are going to shift and dive into our next segment called Market Pulse, What's Hot and What's Not.
Ooh.
Are you ready for that?
Yes.
So for those of you who don't know, Gabby is a masterful stager, designer, everything, right? So with substantial experience in high-end architecture and interior design, not only can she help you find your dream home, she can sell it, but she can design it to perfection as well. So this is where we get into your expert insights on what's trending in real estate.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So, staging trends. What are the latest trends in home staging, and how effective are they in attracting buyers?
Oh, I love I recommend if you're selling your home, and if your home is not already decked out with absolutely stunning furniture, then you definitely should consider staging. Or if your home is just completely vacant, I think that there's a benefit to that for sure. Now, in terms of trends, I've seen people stick with classic. because you can't go wrong with classics, right? The things that are timeless, the natural earthy tones, light colors that really they're so inviting, and they just make you feel warm and at home.
Yes.
You can't go wrong with that. If you have a staging company and a lot of your furniture is very eclectic and bright, that's for a particular buyer, while certain colors and tones really, it's for the masses. So timeless and neutrals, warm colors, tones, that's definitely where it's at in terms of staging.
Nice.
And then I just feel like a seller, it's worth it. I've had sellers who have staged their homes and it costs them a couple thousand, right? But then they sell their home for 30 more. Like, it's just always been so beneficial. I haven't had an experience, not to say that it'll never come, but I haven't had an experience where a seller has regretted staging their home, a vacant home, or, replacing a few pieces. Yeah. So I just think it's very beneficial in terms of the bottom line. Yes. And it brings people in. They want to be able to see themselves in your space, and to do that with the most natural tones that are just inviting is the best bet.
Absolutely.
And it'll just bring in more buyers, and you get more bang for your buck. You get more money for your home.
Yeah. Now, what percent of the time would you say that potential buyers are wanting to purchase the furniture and all the staging furniture when they are going in with their offer? What percent of the time?
They're always asking for it. I haven't seen a whole lot, but there are some. I haven't seen a whole lot who actually move forward and purchase it all.
Okay.
But it happens. But yeah, they walk in and they just wish that this was their house, and then if it's in their price point, which typically it is, it's even more exciting. They're like, I need this house, because they see what it can be versus, just it completely vacant. So I just think that it's been beneficial. Buyers love it, and they don't even know that they're falling in love with the house because of the furniture. It really is the staging. So it's different, because there's a difference between furnished and staged. Because if it just has furniture but it's not like put together, it's not curated. It's like there's a difference. There's a major difference. So yeah, I definitely recommend that. It's beneficial for sellers and for buyers. Yeah. They want it.
Of course. Would you say that virtual staging has that same effect?
It does if the virtual staging is good until they reach the house. So I am not a huge fan of virtual staging, only because I feel like there are some people who don't have the eye for any space, like in terms of a creative vision to see what something is and all of that. So you have to cater to all types of buyers, right? So when virtual staging happens, a lot of people fall in love with the picture because it's gorgeous, especially if the virtual staging is done well. Yes. I've seen some horrible virtual staging, but I don't recommend that. Don't even waste your time on that. Like, you might as well just post it completely empty, just vacant, versus using poor virtual staging. So don't ever do that. We need the shadows. It has to look real, but for certain homes or rentals or something like that, you might see a vacant space and be like, hey, this place is so huge and people may not be able to envision it, or it looks weird, like we're just taking a picture of a wall and it's just this really big room. So maybe we should put something in there so they see that this is a living room space, this is a dining room space. So, just so they can visualize that for them to come out. Nice. And it brings people out, because the pictures are like their first impression. If you post a listing with no images, the chances of you getting someone who's really interested is like slight to none. Absolutely. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think that, we should use virtual staging where if someone is refusing to physically stage, a seller or a landlord is refusing to physically stage, or it just doesn't make sense financially to do so, then yes, you can virtually stage, but you should definitely put the actual photo of what it really looks like right after that. Because you just don't want people to come and feel underwhelmed when they walk through the door and they feel deceived and bamboozled. Like, you don't want that impression, right? So that's usually why I try to steer clear from the virtual staging, because I just don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
But I do think that for a cover photo, for an introduction online to your space, virtual staging would be the way to go. Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes.
That makes sense, right? So what would you say is like the most surprising item you've used to stage a home and that ended up being a huge hit with the buyer?
I try to I have amazing staging companies that I've worked with who do beautiful jobs.
Nice.
And I love to see it. But one of those things I feel like, sometimes you're only catering to the visual person. So I feel like in staging, when you're showing a house, you also have to bring in that audio. I feel like there's audio staging too. Okay, so when you come into a space and it's gorgeous and you're hearing, I always play luxury hotels or spa music.
Nice.
And I feel like the music moves them through the
appeals to the
space.
senses.
It does.
Yes.
So you're seeing something that's visually appealing, but then you're also hearing and feeling, and if there's snacks and foods you're smelling, and I want to appeal to all your senses. So this is an experience.
Very true.
Right? So for me, that is also part of the staging experience. It's not just the furniture. It's what the place smells like. It's what you hear when you walk in. It's, you don't want to hear the noise of the radiator. Like that's not helpful. You don't want to hear the fridge
inspection problem.
No, those are not appealing sounds. So I feel like even if you have it staged to the nines and you're not hearing and smelling, you need to appeal to all the senses. So I think those are kind of my added staging tips.
I love it. I think that's overlooked.
All the senses.
Yeah, I think that's definitely overlooked from the times I've even been at like different open houses. It's like, okay, here's the house.
Yeah.
But like you said, all the other things that draws you in.
Yes. And try not to use candles so much, because you know what? A lot of people think that candles are masking smells like mold.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, there's a lot of candles out. What are you hiding?
Yeah.
Right? But if you do something a little different, like put a pot on the stove, some lemons, oranges, like the citruses, cinnamons, and you're like boiling that.
Nice.
The smell.
What you cooking?
Exactly. So the smell, it's not, it doesn't seem like, it just seems like you're creating an experience versus here's a candle in the bathroom, here's a candle in the bedroom, and they're all lit and they're just giving off different aromas. I think that, be a little bit more
intentional.
Yeah, intentional with that. So boil something on the pot, let that smell get through the space, and that really makes a difference.
And it's funny because that's one of the main lessons I learned the last time we did an open house where I bought the air freshener.
Yeah.
I was like, Gabrielle,
no. She brought Febreze to my open house. I said, stop right now.
It was a sin. An absolute sin. No. Little did I know. But I'm so glad you taught me that, though.
Yes. That was funny. I was like, oh no.
And it was like a beautiful floral smell. I was like, wait, maybe I got the wrong scent. Gabby doesn't like this scent.
And I'm like, we can't have hairspray.
I started off all wrong. Haven't been invited back to an open house since.
Oh my gosh. I learned that though through an open house that I had where I was trying to mask a scent because they had a dog in the house and it was like wet dog smell everywhere and they had rugs and stuff and I was like, oh, that smells terrible. And I was lighting all the candles and people came in and was like, why are there so many candles? Like, what is the smell that you're trying to like hide? And I was like, oh, they noticed. But it taught me like candles really do come across negatively to buyers. I mean, unless it's like Joe Malone or something, but you're not lighting that all over the house. Yeah. I know. Oh my gosh. That's so good. That's so good. So yeah, that could be in the bathroom maybe, but but overall it's better to just use a pot, cook up something good.
I like that.
Bake some cookies.
Where? At the home?
Yeah. Bake some cookies. Get that cookie smell. Ooh, bake some bread.
Gabby,
these smells.
you will be having lunch soon.
They're gonna be like, I want to live here now. Like, I don't want to go.
You're going to work up your appetite just now. I'm going to have to speed through this segment because I see where you're going here.
Yes.
So what about when we talk about color trends now? What would you say are the hottest color trends in home staging right now?
Okay, well, I mean, I definitely think sticking with the classics, right? That just caters to a larger buyer pool.
Okay.
So I think those whites, the classic whites, white dove. These are, Benjamin Moore has like great whites, like almost 100 different kinds of whites.
You see every shade.
Yeah, the linens, and there are also some grayish colors that's like a mix between gray and beige, because the gray has kind of moved its way out. Like not a whole lot of people are excited about gray all the time, as they were like a couple of years ago. So bringing in a little more of the warmth, those grayish colors are like it, right? And you just can't go wrong with them. If you're doing countertops, you're keeping it light. You know, the Carreras and the Calcuttas will never go out of style. So those
visualizing
are
those
classics.
two colors. I'm not
They're
sure
very,
right now.
they're white marbles.
Okay.
And the Carrera.
Did you know that, Jose? Did you know those two colors?
Yeah.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they never go
all
out
these
of style.
color palettes. I was just there.
You had no choice but to learn, right?
Never, right? They never go out of style. Those are classics for sure.
Nice.
You know, but yeah, you keep those colors very neutral, very like muted almost, and yeah, it's classic. It's classic. But you know what? There are some people who are not afraid of color, and I've seen a lot of darker colors come out. And there's this guy on Instagram. I forgot his handle, but you know, maybe we'll drop it in there when I find him. But he mixes these amazing dark colors and you paint the whole room that color, like ceiling and all, casings, everything.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Does he have like accents of gold and whatever to offset?
Solid.
Walls and ceilings.
Yep. And the texture comes from the trim work and the casings and the base moldings and all of gorgeous. So there's some people who are just not afraid of color, and that's okay. You go at it. You know, you don't want to do it to a room that's too small, because it could feel pretty tight when things are very dark. But if it's a larger room and you want to go for color, go for color. But it's just like when you're selling, if you have a bright red in your bathroom, that can be very distracting.
Yes.
And for the buyers who don't have the vision, they can't go, well, I'll just paint it white, right? They go, oh my gosh, the bathroom, I have to redo the whole thing, right? And so because they can't see
beyond
how,
it, yeah.
Exactly. When a color could transform a room entirely.
Oh, yeah.
So for those reasons, I definitely recommend, if you're staging, if you're prepping your home, keep it simple, keep it light, keep it classic, so that everyone can envision themselves there.
Love it. Love it. Gotta appeal to everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. So now with the seasons approaching, let's talk about seasonal staging. What are some fun ways to incorporate seasonal decor into home staging without going overboard? Because of course, you know, obviously Christmas is coming up.
Yes.
You just see Christmas trees all throughout people's homes.
Yes.
So like, how do you incorporate it in a very tasteful way? And again, I know it's all for your family, but when it comes to staging and wanting to sell that home,
Yeah.
what are some ways, would you say?
I would say don't decorate.
At all.
There's some people who would completely disagree with me, but if you're putting your home on during Christmas, you don't have to have, like, if it's snowing, okay, there's going to be snow in your pictures and on your exterior, and there's nothing you can do about that, right? And if your home happens to sit on the market into a different season, then you have to update that. That's one. But as far as the interior of the house, I don't think it's necessary to, when selling, to put trees and this and that. I am so for catering to the masses because I'd never want to limit the buying pool.
Yes.
I don't want to be representing a seller, and I have narrowed down the buying pool to slim to none because I put up a Christmas tree and these people don't celebrate Christmas.
so they got
And
offended.
like, I just don't, why do that when you don't have to, right? Like, if your Christmas tree is up and it's, you know, you've decided to sell, but your Christmas tree is still up and we're doing the pictures, that's different. I can understand that. You know, you're not going to just rip everything down when you still live there. So that's a different situation. But if you are just staging, we're putting together your home, prepping it, it's vacant, you don't need that stuff in there. Keep it very simple.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Now, what about staging on a budget? What are some budget-friendly staging tips that you can give to buyers, or excuse me, sellers or buyers, that they can incorporate and do on their own?
I love do-it-yourself stuff.
Yes.
Because like when I worked at Smiros and Smiros Architects, and love their work. They're amazing. Like, they do such great architecture. They're all about details, and because of them, I I worked with them for like 11 years. Due to that, I grew such a love for details in architecture and design.
Nice.
And they are so particular and meticulous about every little thing. Like the base molding in the corner that no one else is going to notice, they notice.
The molding behind the door.
Yes, exactly. They're like, wait, can this door open on a 90? No, it needs to cut more. Like they're good with their stuff. Like you'll see it on their Instagram. You should check it out for sure.
I will.
But the thing that I wanted to be able to do once what I learned from there is like, how do I take all of these high-end $1 million details and really make it for the everyday home? Like, how do I make it still look amazing? How does it look like $1 million without being $1 million, right? So a lot of the times I've thought of like these DIY stuff that you can do. One of the things is take a base. Like, make sure you have a decent base in your home. Whether you're doing your kitchens over, okay, you're going to do these cabinets, fine. Maybe they're not the most expensive cabinets because cabinets can run some crazy prices. Maybe they're not the most expensive cabinets, but you want to splurge a little on that countertop.
Okay.
You want to go with the quartz. Quartz, the durability is wild, right? And it comes in a lot of different styles and designs. Like marble's beautiful, but it's super expensive and it can stain. Right? Like why? Like if you can get quartz that's gorgeous as well, then do that. And then you put into a really good quartz, because they have quartz that don't look so hot, and there's some that have really gorgeous styles that would make just take your kitchen to new heights.
Level.
Yes. So you start putting money into certain things that make the base better. You know, you can buy a dress on Amazon, you dress it up and you look $1 million, but you spent like 30.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So
$25.99.
yes, exactly. Exactly. So that's how I feel about design. I'm like, you get a good base and you dress it up. So aside from like countertops and stuff, my jewelry to house is handles, door handles, cabinet handles, lighting. That's jewelry. You adorn the space.
Sure.
Oh, you will bring it all the way up. Paint is definitely one because a color can transform a room. But then you can have like really old cabinets and you paint them like a nice neutral color, and then you change the handle out. These little cabinet handles, they have these gorgeous ones, even on Amazon. They're like super affordable. That have like the ones that I got for my kitchen. It has like these this grit to it. It's like a funny. The texture, it's gorgeous, and it's like a brass kind of texture.
Nice.
It's a brass color, brass finish, but the texture has like a grit to it, almost like concrete, and it has it's gorgeous, and it just looks like little jewels on each cabinet.
Beautiful.
That's stuff like that, matte and expensive, but it looks good and it looks expensive when it's not.
Yes.
So in your lighting, you want to pick different lighting fixtures, some drop downs, they have so many different options online that you can get, whether it's from Signature Hardware, or you don't have to spend Restoration Hardware kind of money. Like you can get certain things from different like mom and pop shop lighting spaces. Like there are a lot that are just, even in Brooklyn and Queens, all over the place. And that can change up the space too. Absolutely. So it's not even just the furniture, but like your fittings, your fixtures can definitely bring that up. A faucet, all those little things. The little things is really what makes the difference. But have a good base, have solid floors, have good cabinetry, a good color to everything. You splurge a little on your countertops, but I think that it's important to just add those little accent pieces.
Nice.
Do it yourself, and it looks great,
There
and it
you
doesn't break the
Doesn't
bank.
have to cost a lot. And it's funny because as you're speaking, I'm thinking about Christina's Kitchen. So Christina's a mutual friend of ours.
Christina.
Shout out, Christina. Gotta shout you out, boo. You did an amazing job recreating and just renovating her kitchen.
And she's good. She has a really good eye.
Nice.
She does. She has a really good eye for her design too. So that wasn't hard because she did a lot. Yeah.
Nice.
But yes,
that
I
is
did.
amazing.
I redid my kitchen. I worked with her on hers. And and I've done that for quite a few people. I've done that on the side too, just like helping and giving ideas and things for everyone's kitchens and bathrooms and things like that. So yeah, I love that stuff.
You may have a future client here.
Yes.
Because I look at my kitchen sometimes and I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yes, a little switch up. It would be nice.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now let's talk about staging for millennials. How
Okay.
are you tailoring staging strategies to appeal to millennial buyers? And what trends are resonating? What are you seeing, if any, at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think that since COVID, I feel like it's become important for millennials to be online. I've seen like such a it's really been quite an increase in terms of how much they're online. They need the office space. That had become such a big thing. Like after COVID, people were like, oh my gosh, we need outdoor space and we need office space because we're working from home and we're doing this and we're doing that. So that became such a big thing. So when you would be showing homes, you're like, and this is your potential office space. And look at all the outdoor space. And that became like a thing that we kept pointing out because it was so important during that time. And even still now, I feel like the, content creators, the TikTokers, the YouTubers, they need that space for their creativity, and staging certain homes that way, if that's who your audience is, or if there's a unique home that just has these special features that a TikToker, YouTuber would love, or it's in a particular location where there's ample of them, like East Village or something like that, you'd want to cater to that because you're bringing they're coming in and that's what they do for work. This is what they're going to want. They're going to want a space like this where they can be creative, they can create their content, and they can get paid.
There you go.
So yeah, cater to that. You can even stage one of the rooms as a total studio, and help them to see like, hey, you could use this room for this. It may not have a closet, so it's not technically a bedroom, or it may not have a window, but it can be a creative space, and you start tweaking those types of things. So yeah, that's what I would say for that.
Nice. Have you ever done staging for like a minimalist? And if so, did you find yourself holding back so much because it's like, wait, I can't do the full vision that I'm seeing because they don't, they may not care for it all?
Not really.
Okay.
No, like I've used staging companies because they help me so that I don't have to spend so much time doing it myself. So staging companies have done their thing. They come in, they do their thing. You typically aren't tweaking it too much from what they do. If someone comes in and it would only be if you're designing a space for a client who has hired you to just design their space. Okay. But if you are staging it, you put it how it reaches the masses. It's not really catered to the seller's taste in that sense. So no, I haven't really had too much of an issue in terms of a minimalist with sellers. No.
Okay. Good to know. So kind of a different angle here. I want to know, if you could live in any type of home anywhere in the world, what would it be and why?
Ooh, okay. A type of home.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm a little bit of a mix between modern and traditional. There are certain aesthetics that I love about modern architecture and interior design, and there's certain things that I love about traditional. I love the crown moldings, the base moldings. I love the trims on the wall, the casings. I love those details, and that's more traditional. But then there's a certain style and aesthetic to the clean, sleek, modern side of things. So the mix is called transitional, and that's where I am. That's where I reside. So I love a transitional style home. Nice. I also like, I'm a typical kind of colonial. I do love colonials, colonial style homes, but honestly, I'm very open to. I'm pretty flexible with the style on the exterior.
Understood.
Like the inside, I want it to be transitional.
Okay.
And not too open because I don't really want it to feel like a warehouse, or not necessarily a huge loft fan.
Okay.
I think they're gorgeous.
Yes.
But like even Tommy from Power lived in this amazing loft.
Sexy.
I know.
That was such a sexy loft.
It is.
Oh my gosh.
But lofts are so exposed.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
you are in one space and you see all the way down the place. Like it's exposed. You can't hide nowhere. Not that I'm trying to really hide through the house, but I mean a little bit of, some partitions. Like you had some guests and they're just everywhere.
Just there.
Yes, they're everywhere.
But I think lofts are amazing for like entertaining.
They
so if you are very much an
Right.
entertainer,
Yes.
that is so appropriate for
That is
you
true.
because it's just there.
Yes,
So waiting to be
exactly.
utilized.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's gorgeous. I do love the look of it, but for me, I don't see it as functional.
Okay.
So I'm more of I'm more of a transitional style. I would like some rooms closed off
Okay.
while communal spaces could be more open.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
can
that
appreciate
would
that.
that would be my style. And where? I mean, I gotta love New York.
Of course.
I don't think I would want to be anywhere else. But granted, I would love to have different homes in different areas. Like
There you go.
so I want my main house to be in New York.
Yes.
But I would love to also have other homes in Europe and just across the globe so that I could be able to travel to those. So
Oh, yeah. I think
No
about that
limit.
all the time. Absolutely. Well, since you mentioned Tommy, let's talk celebrity homes.
yeah.
Which celebrity home would you love to tour and why?
Ooh, so this one is very easy because I remember thinking, wow, this is so amazing when I was watching it. So on $1 Million Listing Los Angeles, actually they toured and showed us through Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz house. It's the Razor House.
Nice.
Gorgeous. I mean, the
Nice.
garage, everything about the house was so sleek, super modern, very sleek, gorgeous, sold for 20.8 mil.
Sweet.
Stunning.
Sweet.
You guys have to check it out for sure.
Why do they call it the Razor House?
Because
That
it's
it's-
super sharp. Like everything
okay.
inside is super sleek, but
Wow.
the shape of the house is very eclectic and there's nothing like it. Very unique space. So I really love that one. Like I would love to be able to physically tour it, even though we kind of saw it on Architectural Digest and also on that show. So yeah, but you can see what it looks like from those two spaces because it really was beautiful.
Nice.
So that would be my pick for a tour and checking it out.
Alicia, are you
Heading
listening?
to LA.
Alicia, are you listening?
Here I come.
Swiss, I hope you're okay with that.
I'm coming over. Yeah, for sure. But that was a good question. I like that one.
Awesome. Well, that was amazing. Thank you as always.
Of course.
That kind of wraps up our segment there when
Yes.
it comes to trends and everything.
I hope that was helpful.
It was extremely helpful. You did an amazing job.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing.
That's fun.
So the best part is I get to have you back for part 2.
Yes. I love it. I'll
Yes.
be here.
Absolutely. I
This is
will
so fun.
coordinate, of course, with everything.
Yes.
But I'm excited to get into the part 2. But you're absolutely amazing to have here for part 1. So thank you, darling.
Thank you so much. This was
Absolutely.
amazing. I really had a great time. So I am excited to come back for part 2.
All right, it's going to be a party, and we're going to be louder than ever.
Yes. We're going to be screaming from the mountaintops.
We will. We'll get kicked out of the podcast room.
I love it.
Yes. Well, thank you again. This wraps up part 1. But again, I am so excited for part 2. So stay tuned and more to come. Until later.